And up at the start for the Princess Philip Challenge Trophy, St Catherine's School Australia up against the Tideway Scullers School.
Sarah, with kind of crews that do come over from Australia, do you interact with them in any way or give them any advice? Or because they're all, it's their first time at the regatta, the experience of it, you know, what the magnitude of it and what to be careful of, what to embrace and enjoy. Is there any kind of insight you give them?
Some of them seek my advice, some don't. But I think the schools have gotten really good at sharing that information and training with one another and helping each other along the way. So they will have all learnt from one another. Obviously, we saw St Catherine's School from Melbourne compete and win the Prince Philip last year. This is St Catherine's School Sydney. So different crew. Melbourne Girls Grammar raced earlier this morning, so they were the top two from our national championships. So they will be very strong, and it will be interesting to see if they meet up at some point during the racing. But I understand that some of the members of St Catherine's school crew had the flu, unfortunately, so always a risk with travelling and coming over here of getting unwell. But they're looking very dominant at this stage, so no signs of that impeding them.
So how many kind of spares will they bring? Will they bring two or they bring one? Like, I know you talked about the cost of it, it's expensive. You know, how will they kind of balance that?
I'm not 100% sure what this crew have done, but I would think that most crews would bring two spares over with them if they have those athletes available and can afford to do so. But it might be one, but I would think that most crews would travel that kind of distance with a reserve.
It's pretty impressive the way they've gone off the start there, taken the early initiative and just kept moving.
And we've just heard that St Catherine's School have equalled the record to the Forley, and they have set a new record at the barrier. So this crew is absolutely hoofing down the track.
And you know that the coxswain is looking at those stroke coach times. You know that she's telling the girls how they're doing, and whether or not they know if they're broken records or not, they know that these are fast conditions.
And it sets, you know, a standard for everybody else now, doesn't it? You know, it makes everybody start looking at them even more. We've talked about how good they are back home, but then come in here and breaking records in their first. This is their first race up the course. They've started racing today.
It's incredibly impressive, and I'm always just amazed by the maturity and the calmness of many of these junior boats when they come here and they race with such composure all the way down the track. And I think this is a great performance from both of these crews. We're just getting shot on the back of the Tideway Scullers School, but this race has been all about St Catherine's School smashing records all the way down the track.
And whether you're in the leading boat or you're the boat behind, to row in these conditions, in these fast conditions, this is valuable race experience. Both crews are going to be so excited to have gone down these record-setting waters.
As St Catherine's
Just keep an eye on that time.
Come across the line here.
Wow, so I'm getting goosebumps just watching this. I talked before about being able to surf the conditions, and I think it takes a level of technical ability and a steadiness for the cox to know the right calls to make in these waters.